Hello, I'm Kathleen Hall, and this is The Way I See It.
Hello, I'm Ken Pierre, and this is The Way I See It.
Well, here we are, January the 15th, named Blue Monday, and it is supposedly or purportedly to be the most depressing day of the year. And I think when I brought you this topic, you knew nothing about it. And he said, bah humbug. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
So what happened was this professor, many years ago, got an algorithm where he figured this was the most depressing day by the amount, or lack, thereof, of sunlight. People have charged all these things for Thanksgiving and Christmas. The bills are just now coming in. That's overwhelming. And their New Year's resolutions, they started the first week of January excited and everything. And now, here we are towards the end, and they are just 92% of us have not kept them. So it's all of those combination of things that it's been named the most depressing day of the year. And what it does, I think it's important though, even if you don't believe in the day, this is the most depressing time of the year. I mean, we know with sunlight and melatonin and lack of sunlight, seasonal affective disorder is a huge problem. One of our children had it, especially in high school. It was very difficult. And we realized after years that it was caused from about the end of December, January through March. So it's that depressing time of year.
I understand. I've had friends. I could never really relate to it because I guess I've lived my background. We've just always been joyous and like celebrate everything. So even being in the military, I didn't ever have a moment or a season where the only thing that I realized while I was in the military, during seasons, I would get allergies. And I never had allergies until I joined the military. But besides that, like, we don't stick in that mindset. We always are out and about. We're running, we're togetherness. So if there was someone that did struggle with it, we would always have. Remember, I talked about battle buddies. So you could talk to someone about it. You can go to your first sergeant, and you know, if that hump did come across, then there would be solutions. But I never heard of the term.
Yeah. So again, even if it's not the term for the day, winter puts you in a funk, and of course research shows us. But then we can talk about what you can do for it. Like now we have light lamps. You can go to Amazon or anything online, and you can find cheap ones. In the old days, they were very, very expensive and rare. Now you can put lamps in your house for you or for people that have seasonal affective disorder. I suggest people exercise. Make sure you're going to a gym, walking around the block, because that produces endorphins and serotonin. And actually, people who have depressive disorders, it's better to walk first thing in the morning or get out in the sun because it helps with melatonin production. So also eating food. It's easy to eat a lot of heavy foods this time of year, lots of thick, creamy, cheesy soups.
Hibernating.
Or exactly, hibernating. Good word. That's what sets in the depression word. And I think another big thing, I think you alluded to that, Ken, was friends. It's really important to get out of your house, away from work, you know, go out for coffee, get out and do lively things. If you've never ice skated, or if you've never shot hoops or gone to a yoga class, this is a time, it's hard because you feel flat and everything to get motivated. But like you said, whether it's a buddy or a sergeant or somebody in your family, since you said you all are so up, I'm sure somebody knocks you if you start to get flat.
Of course, like what's going on? Like let's go out, let's hit, like even running. Like, so being in the military, we just used to, no matter what type of weather it is, you get out there and do what you have to do, and it just felt so much better. Well,
and with obesity, almost 40% and overweight in this country, you can tell we're not doing what the practice that you have done. Yeah, very, very much active. And so, and here's the other thing, is to be compassionate. When you go into work or at your house, that's how we noticed one of our daughters we thought she was moody, and it was hormones and teenagers. And it wasn't until later that because we didn't know that much about it back then. But just be aware of this time of year and keep flowers in your house. That's a great idea. They have a Harvard study that shows that it lessens depressions and adds energy to your house. You can go to Kroger or other places, $7. You can get some happy tulips. I painted my fingernails pink First time ever. I have never worn colored fingernail polish
She looks cute.
in my life. I don't know what made me do it, except I thought, well, I need some life. And those kinds of things. So think of anything that brings you energy and brings you light and brings you life, because that's what you need.
I agree.
Okay.
Totally.
You nailed that one, even though the skeptic.
Well, my name is Ken Pierre, and this is the way I see it.
And I'm Kathleen Hall. This is the way I see it. Thank you. Take care.
You guys have a great day.